The ticks this year are really bad, so I want to start a video series about Lyme disease. Because when I ask most people, do you know what Lyme disease is? The answer is always, not really. So what is it? Lyme disease is an infection caused by a spirochete type of bacterium called Borrelia burgdorferi. How do you get this infection? Usually, not always, but usually through a tick bite. Not all ticks carry Lyme, and not all tick bites are going to cause Lyme disease. Tick bites, if they are not attached over 24 hours, it's unlikely to get Lyme disease. And that's why it's so important to do head-to-toe tick checks of you and your family if you spend much time outdoors. If you haven't watched my tick video from a couple years ago, you should. So Lyme disease is an illness that causes inflammation of the body, typically affecting the joints, the nervous neurologic system, the brain, and maybe the heart. Acute and early Lyme disease is typically when it's recognized shortly after the tick bite or the transmission, whereas chronic Lyme disease is when it's recognized months to even years after the transmission. Early acute Lyme disease is easy to treat with antibiotics. Hopefully it resolves completely. Chronic Lyme disease is more complicated. Chronic Lyme is considered difficult to treat, or it can be, because Lyme loves to hide in the body from the immune system. And if the immune system is compromised, it can be really hard to manage Lyme disease. If you want to get tested for Lyme disease, I recommend seeing an experienced or Lyme literate provider, because testing and interpreting results is a little tricky. So that's enough to digest for now. Stay tuned. I'm going to talk about symptoms and when to suspect Lyme disease, treatment, Herxheimer reactions, and other tick-borne illnesses like Rocky Mountain spotted fever. See ya. Research shows that clicking the thumbs up and subscribe button will make fingers healthy and strong, and besides, it's free.